Recently, the US side announced a policy statement regarding its position on maritime claims in the South China Sea and smeared China on many occasions. It is important that we list US false allegations vis-à-vis the facts to debunk the falsehoods and let people know the truth. Allegation: China did not officially declare the dotted line in the South China Sea until 2009. Reality check: in 1948, the Chinese government officially published the map of the administrative districts of China on which the dotted line of the South China Sea was clearly marked, reaffirming China's sovereignty and relevant rights and interests in the area. Over a very long period of time after that, the littoral countries of the South China Sea and the wider international community have either explicitly supported or acquiesced to China's announcement, and no country has ever opposed or questioned it. Moreover, the encyclopedias, yearbooks, and maps published in many countries all vindicate China's sovereignty and jurisdiction over the Nansha Islands. Allegation: China's maritime claims in the South China Sea have no basis in international law. Therefore, the US has urged relevant countries to oppose China's maritime claims in the South China Sea. Reality check: Chinese people's activities in the South China Sea date back to more than 2,000 years ago. China is the first to discover, name, explore, and exploit the South China Sea islands and relevant waters, and the first to exercise sovereignty and jurisdiction over the islands and their adjacent waters continuously, peacefully, and effectively. China's territorial sovereignty and maritime rights and interests in the South China Sea have solid historical and legal bases, which are consistent with international law and practice. In 1946, in accordance with the Cairo Declaration and the Potsdam Proclamation, China recovered the Xisha and Nansha Islands, which had been invaded and illegally occupied by Japan. Allegation: any unilateral actions of China to exploit offshore resources across most of the South China Sea are unlawful. Reality check: China has indisputable sovereignty as well as sovereign rights and jurisdiction over the South China Sea islands and their adjacent waters. Meanwhile, China has always stayed committed to peaceful resolution of relevant disputes through negotiation and consultation with the countries directly concerned. Before the disputes are settled, China is ready to pursue joint development with relevant countries while shelving disputes, so as to maintain peace and stability in the South China Sea and create conditions for the final resolution of the disputes. Allegation: the Arbitral Tribunal constituted under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, rejected China's maritime claims in the South China Sea. Reality check: the Arbitral Tribunal violated the principle of state consent by expanding its power to exercise jurisdiction over disputes between China and the Philippines on territorial sovereignty and maritime delimitation. Its obvious mistakes in the determination of facts and the application of law were questioned by many countries. The most important thing is that the constitution of the tribunal was inconsistent with international law. It was born a mistake. The trial process was horse trading, as the tribunal was paid to handle the case. The US, a country that has not ratified the UNCLOS, keeps accusing China of violating the UNCLOS. That's hypocritical and domineering. Allegation: the US and its allies allege that they have to maintain the freedom of navigation and overflight in the area. Reality check: China is committed to upholding the freedom of navigation and overflight enjoyed by all states under international law. However, freedom of navigation is by no means a license to do whatever one wants. No one should seek hegemony of navigation under the pretext of freedom of navigation and overflight. Over the years, China has worked with ASEAN countries to ensure unimpeded access to and safety of the sea lines of communication in the South China Sea and made significant contributions to this collective endeavor. Allegation: China treats the South China Sea as its maritime empire. Reality check: the South China Sea is a bridge of communication and a bond of peace, friendship, cooperation, and development between China and its neighbors. China upholds the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind. In an effort to develop amicable relations and partnerships with neighboring countries, China pursues a neighborhood diplomacy concept featuring amity, sincerity, mutual benefit, and inclusiveness. China is a staunch force for advancing cooperation and development in the South China Sea. It is the US, not China, that takes a predatory worldview. The so-called empire title fits the US best. Allegation: the US and its allies reject any push by China to impose might makes right in the South China Sea or the wider region. Reality check: China adheres to the path of peaceful development, pursues a defense policy that is defensive in nature, and champions common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security. It is the US that clings to the belief of might makes right and resorts to force and intimidation at every turn. From 2001, the US has waged wars and military operations in countries including Iraq, Libya, and Syria, causing more than 800,000 deaths and tens of millions of people displaced. Allegation: China harassed other states' fishing and hydrocarbon development in these waters and launched a campaign of bullying to control the resources. Reality check: China is the only country that has implemented a long-standing policy for a large-scale summer fishing moratorium in the South China Sea, making major contributions to the conservation of fishery resources. China carried out construction on the islands and reefs in the South China Sea with a purpose to actively implement its international obligation in maritime search and rescue, disaster prevention and mitigation, marine sciences research, meteorological observation, ecological environment protection, navigation safety and fishery, and provide public services for passing ships from various countries in the South China Sea. Allegation: China's military exercises in the South China Sea caused instability in the area. Reality check: the Chinese military conducted training exercises at our doorstep in accordance with its annual training plans. The exercises aimed at no specific country or target. It is the US that has deployed many advanced military vessels and aircraft to flex its muscles in the South China Sea, posing grave threat to regional peace and security. Since the beginning of this year, the US warships have made multiple aggressive moves in the region. Their illegal entry into the territorial waters or the adjacent waters and airspace of the islands and reefs in the South China Sea challenged China's sovereignty and security. Moreover, the US sent military aircraft frequently to the region and conducted twin carrier exercises twice in a month. It is a clear fact that the US is the strongest driving force for militarization and the destructive factor and troublemaker of regional situation in the South China Sea. China has always been and will continue to be committed to maintaining peace and stability in the South China Sea, firmly safeguarding its sovereignty and relevant rights in the region, and striving for the peaceful settlement of the disputes through friendly negotiation and consultation with countries directly concerned. China stands ready to make concerted efforts with ASEAN countries to build the South China Sea into a sea of peace, friendship, and cooperation.